Dolphins fans. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we're back here for another one, as it is the return of the fifth quarter post-game panel show where I open it up to you guys, the fans. We haven't done one of these basically since, I believe, last season when we lost in the playoffs. I see people are already starting to stack up in the chat. If you want to join the conversation and you've never done this before, it's easy. You're going to see a link in the chat right now, and just click that link, come backstage, and we are all good to go. We are coming off a Dolphins 36-34 victory. Hey, man, Tua Tagovailoa is him. Tyreek Hill is him. Together, they are them. For all of you who want to get into those little pronouns and all that kind of stuff, I guess we can say they're them. Tua Tagovailoa, 28 of 45, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, which he really should have had back. And it could have been over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns because he did underthrow Tyreek when he might have been gone. And it would have been over 500 yards if he would have hit Waddle on that one underthrow too. But still, 110 passer rating. Tua Tagovailoa answering the call. I had a huge face that blew up on Twitter yesterday, and it was all about how I thought Tua Tagovailoa would have his best game as a Charger, against the Chargers as a Dolphin. And we lived it a bit today, did we not? I mean, if you look at it yesterday and what I had posted a little bit, for all of you who are not on Twitter, what I had said was the following: ready for Tua and Herbert 3. I think Tua has his best game yet against the Chargers, as well as Brandon Staley. With Vic Fangio in-house, the godfather of Staley's scheme, I think McDaniel and Tua are not only prepared for what Staley has in store, but also his counter punches for their answers. Historically, dating back to his rookie year, this defensive scheme and offshoot versions of it have given Tua issues. I believe having Fangio not only building for installs and game planning weekly, but also up in that booth where some of y'all said he should have came down from on Sundays, identifying rotations, etc., will help to execute at a much more efficient level against it than we've seen previously. Can't wait for tomorrow. Now, Reason, why are you making a big deal about this? Reason, why does it matter? Because what have I been telling you? When you look at all the defensive schemes and looks he's had at the NFL level, this scheme and versions of it are the only defenses he's historically struggled from against, whether last year, the year before, as a rookie. He now has the keys to the kingdom. And I said to y'all, it's bad news for the NFL and great news for us if he figures this defense out, because that's the last key has left unlocked. We're now 4 years deep. He's seen basically almost every coverage that can be thrown at him, and this was the only defense with disguising and such that would give him issues. And look at what he did today. Absolutely shredded them apart. We have over 750 of you in the room. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Our backstage is full. I will rotate out, so don't worry. People will have a chance to come on. And Tyreek Hill has a massive day. Shout out to Neil Driscoll. He called it 11 receptions for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. My Lord. Want to do some math, though? Even if you take away Tyreek Hill's 215, Tua is still through for more yardage than Justin Herbert. Take that, Herbert lovers. How do you like that one? Right up the yin-yang. All right, let's no further no further hesitation. Over 800 of you in the room. Please smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's bring in everyone. Let's start off with the Triple OG. Mr. Ballgame, sir, how are you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
We got plenty more to add, so let's keep it rolling. Z-Man taking a break from those Twitter streets, coming back to his OG roots where it really started. What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. I'm back, man. That was what a way to start the season, man. What a way.
Love it, bro. Yeah,
Hey.
I'm gonna have a heart attack by the end of the season if it continues this way.
I don't.
I'm just gonna keep rolling, Ballgame. Let me do the intros. Russell, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up? Fins up, fellas. I am ecstatic. Tua again showing he is the man.
Love it. Let's add some flavor. Let's add a little bit of class with British Fin fans. Accent added to the fold. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
What's up, guys? Justin who?
Yeah. Justin can't get it done in the fourth quarter. That's what I call him. Making his return. It's been a minute. Dylan, what's going on, bro?
Hey guys, how y'all doing, man? That was a thing of beauty. Yeah, good to be back.
Something to behold. Todd, how are you doing, sir?
Dude, long time no talk. Reason you ball game. How y'all doing, man? I'm
All good.
I can't be much better than what I just saw in that offense,
buddy. I'm basking in the glory right now. Michael, what's going on, dude?
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Fin fans. An amazing game number one, I could say. So let's get going.
James Steele, how are you doing?
Good reason. Good to see you guys again. Wow, what a game. Vic Fangio is a master of bringing out the blitz when he needs it, huh?
Yeah, he showed that. He showed that at the end there. And finally, Mike Who, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's popping?
How you doing?
What's popping, guys? Yo, fins up. This offense is looking lit.
dude. I'm still trying to get my heart rate down.
Let me.
What's crazy is we could have scored 40 easy on them, and Tua could have had over 500 yards easy on them. Anyways, go ahead, Ballgame.
I'm gonna make this quick, man, so I can make room for somebody else, bro. I think the biggest thing I want people to do, man, is cut Fangio a little slack. Great defensive coordinators do two things. One, they blitz when they need to, not when you expect them to. And secondly, it takes time. They only had 6 weeks really to put everybody in place, and this is like the first week of the season is always like an extension of the preseason. So you get to go back and take a look at what you did and didn't do well, and then you adjust from there. They didn't have that. They never really had a full 3-4 quarters really with the defense, with the starters in there to get things kind of dialed in. I do believe that over the course of the first 6 weeks, there'll be some major adjustments made up front and things of that nature. But I do think that overall they did exactly what they needed to do when they needed to do it. Obviously, the Chargers have a pretty high-powered offense as well. Yeah. But in the same token, our offensive line did an amazing job of keeping Tua upright. He ran when he needed to run. He did amazing on his checkdowns. He saw the field open, and he's now proven that with the 6 or 7 to 8 weeks that he's seen this defense, he can pick it apart. So I do agree with Reason. He has unlocked the code to the combination, man, and the rest of the league is now probably going to be in trouble. So it's a great win for us. Great way to start off the season. I think it's going to be hell for everybody else that's coming behind, because at this point now, everybody else is going to be really trying to figure out how to stop us. And I think,
Ballgame, you know what was scary, brother? You know what was the scary part? You knew they were going to dare him to throw over the middle of the field, and he was like, all right. Lasers, bro. And some of the placement on some of those balls over the middle of the field.
Those Barrios catches, man, were good Lord. I'm so glad we picked that guy up, man, because he was doing he did. Yeah. I had him on Price Pick today, man. He won it for me today, bro. They had him at 26 and a half. They had him at 26 and a half yards, bro, and he killed that.
That 3rd and 15.
That 3rd and 15
was clutch. I mean, that was clutch on both Tua and Barrios, for real. But
and shout out to the offensive line that played really well tonight as well.
Seriously,
I mean, Connor Williams.
Austin Jackson's nuts dropped, bro.
Connor Williams needs to fix that bullshit going on with him. But besides,
that's 3 and a penalty in this game. That's not good.
Yeah. That's not all right. Yeah. But despite that, and despite some pretty shit officiating too, they fucking came through, bro.
Yeah, you just play, man. You have to play. You can't rely on. Yeah, miscues happen in the game of football. You know what I mean? And it's truly a game of inches. But when you got, he's here now. It's good. It's good for me to be able to say that officially now. Tua is exactly who we thought he was gonna be, man. Healthy sniper out there, bro. That's a thing of beauty, bro. He diced them up, man. Ridiculous how he did that.
And he was ice cold even after the bad read, the bad interception. He just came out with ice in his veins and was like, "All right, whatever. Let me just go back to doing what I'm doing." Yeah. And listen, I today you saw even further why McDaniel wants to add a bell cow. He just does not trust, even with Mostert, look at the way he was looking at times. He doesn't trust these guys in third down situations when they matter. He would rather trust Tua and Tua's ability to process a defense. So all these people who say he doesn't process defenses, that's how stupid you look, that our coach is. He would rather our quarterback dropping back and processing on 3rd and 2 than trying to run it up the gut.
Yeah, they did it. Now, to the Chargers' credit, they did an amazing job of taking the run lanes away from us. So, and Mike recognizing that early, probably one of the primary reasons why most people were frustrated. But you got to see it from their viewpoint. They got guys stacked aside the A gaps. They had their tackles in the B gaps, and they didn't leave you much on the edge with Bosa and Max standing up. So where you gonna run to? You feel me? And our guys are not the most powerful guys out there. So let your quarterback carry you then at that point. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that, bro.
I would like to point out, offensive line. We've criticized them in the past for not being able to hold their blocks very long. I'll tell you what, in the run game, they held their blocks really well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best offensive line we've seen in years. I mean,
and you didn't even see Teron Armstead today. You saw Lamb.
That's right.
And they were shuffling left guard a lot too.
Was I right or was I not right when I came back from Bahamas? Ain't no way Liam Eichenberg was seeing that field. There's too much on the line, baby.
Yeah,
they shuffled him in a few times.
He got a couple reps, but
they did shuffle him.
Yeah, because a win. It looked like he had a equipment adjustment.
I tell you what, doesn't Denver look like an idiot letting Butch Berry go? Tell you what, he's taught these guys.
Well, look at their, look at
his history though.
If you look at their pass block win rate went up last year under him. They were top 10. But you just had the players were so look at Reisner.
They had a lot of
Reisner was
injuries.
One of the players that pushed back when they did the scheme change. He didn't have a good year, and now he can't find a job. Well, look at what Butch Berry's doing. He was not the problem.
And they had a lot of injuries too.
Sure.
Hey, Reason, McDaniel showed me a lot of growth though. At the end of that half, with that timeout call to give us the ball with 9 seconds, then go for it.
I don't know if you saw it today. I'll bring it up here on Twitter, and we'll talk about it right here. Because I brought out I brought it up on Twitter today, and I brought out the excerpt from Ian Rappaport today. Boys, like I told y'all, first show when I came back, right here. Don't be surprised if Miami is still an option. Sources say they had extensive talks with Colts general manager Chris Ballard, and despite discussing various options, no deal grew imminent, and that's because Jonathan Taylor, he wants to get back to playing football when he comes off the pup. So. Guys, the more we keep winning, the more that's going to justify them dipping their toes into that running back market when, quite frankly, you already saw why they were justified. Ahmed reverted back to what he's always been. Flashes in the preseason, big bright lights come on. I would have rather see Chris Brooks get those carries, to be completely honest with you.
For sure.
And I don't know what message they sent to Devin Achane, or they're just protecting him further, but that was speed. That was impact, and that was explosiveness. You took off the field for what? You didn't even use Chris Brooks today.
Yeah. Yep. I mean,
Taylor would be fucking amazing.
Can never have too many. If Dolphin fans have learned one thing, they never watched Marino. Yeah. They've learned one thing over the last 2 years. You can never have enough weapons.
It's not it's not just like Jonathan Taylor, for example, because obviously that's who we're talking about and stuff. It's not just like his natural production, but it's also the ways that he helps alleviate issues on the offensive line, or, God forbid, if Tua does get hurt at some point, we have to have a backup in there. He will lessen the impact of, let's say that, for example, right? So
yeah, he puts the defense in conflict. Now they have a decision to make they have a harder decision to make about light and heavy boxes. What are you going to do? Because you go light, we'll run it down your throat. You go heavy, we can go over the top with you. And I got to say this. Let's back up the train here for a second. Braxton Berrios today. My God, gentlemen, the early chemistry. I got to shout him out. But before we get into all that, guys, hold on a sec. The Watch Mr. 49.99 said that game was, I will never forget. We are back. Tua is back. Hill is back. Wall is back. Let's fucking go. Going to be an amazing year. That's a $50 donation. Topher with making up for the spoilers with the $100 donation. Mike Ford with the $50 donation. Fins the fuck up. Talk your talk. Reason. Franklin Higgins, $5 reason. How about it? No sacks, brother. I love it. I'm here for it.
And got a couple when we
Rhino
needed
it. $50 donation. Been a Dolphin fan since 1982. Today was the best regular season game I have ever watched. Love all of you, especially you, Pyro. FUTD Cowboys talk. Tua is him. Your rep is officially dead. Well, what was left of it? Hey, I'm just reading the donation.
It's going to be a good
Rhino
year,
donates 50 again and says AFK for a sec. Gonna call the ex and yell at her for a few minutes just because. Fins up. Attaboy. Nothing like a little verbal abuse. Dr. Graf comes through with a $5 donation. Says reason. Shout out to one of the people who's always been on the two-a-day train from day one. We here, baby. We not here. We've been here. Yeah. We've been here since the Ravens game. We've been here since the Cardinals game. We've been here. We're gonna be back here on Tuesday night with me and Martin.
Hey.
Continuing our tradition of we've broken down every single snap of Tua Tagovailoa's career as a passer in the NFL. And we're going to continue that Tuesday with Martin, so be on the lookout for that. Gentlemen, had to get through those donations.
Sorry.
But, man, over 1,000 people in the chat. The Tua fans have been vindicated. The Tua believers have been vindicated. And there were people out here in this fan base who call themselves fans who were hoping and praying he would fall on his face so they could get some clicks. They could point the arm right finger. But, gentlemen, Tua not only shut those people up, he shut up everyone who came into this game saying, we took the wrong guy.
Preach.
466 yards, 3
Tua
touchdowns.
Is better than Herbert.
Points.
Once again, prove that he's the better quarterback.
Do you know what I
love? I don't want to hear it. Tua is the best thing to happen to that quarterback room since Dan Marino was drafted in '84, and it's not even a discussion.
100%.
Hey, Reason, what about Eazy-E becoming Debo back there? Eazy-E coming up and running from the backfield and doing things like Debo did.
Yeah,
the best thing was that the Chargers knew that we were Vic Fangio doesn't like to give up big plays, so they know he plays a deep zone, and he's not going to let Herbert with his big arm beat us deep. So they just had to run it and run it and run it and run it. But do it, and as soon as it came down to Herbert trying to win the game, we were like, no, we're not going to let you do that. And I think that was amazing.
Well, I mean, that D line at the end was just magic, man. Sealer, Wilkins,
at the
Phillips.
end. I mean, like when he sent them, the pass rush woke up, but man, they were quiet for 3 3/4 of a game. That's for sure.
For sure, but I'm just saying, like they definitely came in clutch there at the fucking back end, right? Because we have Tua doing Tua things, setting us up with that absolute dime to Tyreek in the back corner of the end zone for the lead. And then the defense, they had their struggles throughout the game overall, but came in clutch, especially on that D line when it was necessary. And one more thing, Wilkins, I've always liked Wilkins, but as you guys know, I was a person who wouldn't have taken him. I will say this, I definitely think Wilkins at this point has certainly earned his status where he was taken and deserves a new contract.
Yeah, just not 20 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's out 24.
Yeah.
I think
Sealer deserved his contract.
Wilkins was like it was ineffective in the first half, and everybody's thinking like, oh, Wilkins, he's not going to get a new contract. He's not stepping up, and he come out the second half and he thought, you know what, I'm going to step it up now. I'm going to show why.
First game of the season, you got to give him a second to turn it on.
Yeah. That too.
Absolutely.
Nah,
The second
that's
level
not
of
how
this
that works.
defense, though, man.
If you're a dog, no, that's not how that works. If you're a dog, you a dog no matter when.
Okay. I mean, but come on. They took care of business. They took care of it. Can we
you
give them
talking
the rest
24
of the
million?
season?
Nuts says the
Oh,
offense
no.
has
I'm
him
just
bricked up. So shout out to Chef Boyardee. He's feeling himself right now.
I'm just talking about this one game, man. Like, not the whole big picture.
Okay.
I feel you, but I was just talking about this one.
Hey,
game.
I'll tap in with you, Reason. I'm
Right,
gonna make
brother.
room. All right, y'all have a good one, bro. Fins
Take
up.
it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Salute, ball game. Salute, bro.
Hey, Reason, let me.
My only concern from the game is the run defense. I mean, that's really the only thing that bothered me about this game. Everything else,
I agree
was
with you,
extremely, I was extremely happy on the offense, and Tua played lights out. Tyreek showed up, and I was also pretty happy with the offensive line play as well. I was quite surprised that they kept Tua clean all game. But overall, the defense definitely needs to step it up in the run game. But I see the bend don't break mentality they have.
Well, okay. Let's just say that last year that was one of their strengths. Right? The guys that we have theoretically and on paper, it's a strength. So I would say if it continues to be an issue, then, maybe think about it a little bit. I mean, obviously they need to fix and cannot have continued performances from today, clearly. But if it continues to be an issue, then maybe right now I wouldn't be too concerned with it overall.
I did notice that X was not on his game today. A couple PIs.
Some of those calls were garbage, though.
A couple of them were.
No, like those two back-to-back in the end zone, that was all him.
Not only that, he tackles better than that. He tackles way better than he showed today.
He had some nice plays too, but yeah.
It's amazing how
he's got to be cleaner, man. He made some boneheaded plays today, that's for sure. Ron Levy, what's going on, man?
Hey, Reason, long time. How you been, bro? Great game.
There's a few people.
It was phenomenal, bro.
Hey, how surprising is they were able to flip the switch when he finally allowed him to blitz, and it was like magic. We get right to Herbert right away.
All game said it, right?
Game long, he kept the reps on him, and then when time came to win the game, they won the game.
Blitz when you have to.
When he wants to, right?
Not only that, he never showed the blitz, so they had no idea where he was going to come from.
Yeah, and it came from out of nowhere.
Yep.
He had just teased them a little with that Cater corner blitz early on, but other than that,
Cater, bro.
he didn't really. Cater got picked on a little bit early on, man. They're not afraid of him at all. You know what I mean? But I got to tell you this much: my big thing was the whole thing. That's the whole thing with a gap and a half scheme. It's not two gap. It's not one gap. You got to be able to step in your gap, and also you got to be able to come back. You got to be responsible. And these guys were getting washed out early on. Like it wasn't even close, man.
I think they only picked on Cater because of his size, because they had Mike Williams and.
Well, it worked last year. They picked on him last year, and it worked.
Right. They have tall receivers.
And the number one golden thumb about film in the NFL is when you put it on film, you keep doing it until the team puts it on film that they can beat it.
Yeah, it seems like every time we make contact with their running backs, they carried us 3, 4, 5 yards. I mean,
well, you saw a lot of things that have been popping up through Flores being here, through Boyer being here by himself. You saw poor execution in terms of what? You saw the over pursuing, that one on that Keenan Allen up the left side where I forget who the corner was. I think it was Deshaun Elliott, David Long, and someone else over pursued, all overshot him, and he just cut it back inside. But you saw consistent over pursuing. You saw losing consistently in those first 3 quarters. Let's be honest. Other than a few flashes here and there, it was an ugly trench battle for our defensive line. We were getting dominated.
For sure.
Yeah. Linebackers were getting torched on the outside.
That 55-yard run. Did you see the parting of the Red Seas? Like Moses with a stab. Boom, just gone.
That was rough.
And the problem is, too, that I noticed that
the entire
we weren't throwing, our pass rushers weren't throwing a ton of counters. Like you saw if Phillips. How many times did I see Phillips where he try his spin move? His spin ain't moving, but he doesn't have a counter for their counter. And that's what makes great pass rushers is when you have a deep arsenal. Okay, something ain't working. I can flip the switch on to something else. And he was just trying. How many times did I see him try a spin move and it just was not working, and then he wouldn't counter off of it?
How many times
you get washed out?
How many times you get pushed past the quarterback the first three quarters? You kept seeing him going. You kept seeing him get pushed right past Herbert.
Yeah, when they arc him out. When they arc him out.
Yeah.
That right side was supposed to be a weakness for them, and at one point they were running the ball down our throat off that right side just to make a point of it that we're not afraid to go behind Sailor and what's his face, Trey Pippen.
Oh, Pippen.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. When Sanders missed the extra point, how many of you guys thought we were going to lose?
Yeah, same old Dolphins.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
My head stank.
Yeah.
That's where I was at.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
I'm usually the pessimist one when it comes to stuff like that. I wasn't that worried because, I mean, yes, the defense was definitely struggling, and that actually was what worried me a little bit. Obviously, the missed extra point gave them the ability to get the win on just a field goal, but it was the defense potentially letting up, the yardage to get into field goal range that was more concerning to me than the actual miss, especially since without his field goals, we would have lost. So,
Z-Man, hold on a sec. I want to hear because I want to get more people talking that are up here because we're getting centralized here to the same people. Z-Man, what's going on, bro? Are you there right now? Because I want to hear your thoughts because this guy's on mute. If you aren't there, let me know because I can rotate. James, let's hear what you got to say, and then we'll hear what Michael has to say because Z-Man looks like he's still coming.
All right,
Mike.
parting thoughts for me because I'm out after this. First of all, I want to give a little bit of credit to Vic Fangio. He's not out there playing, but he did call the plays. They missed a lot of tackles. He can't do anything about that until this week. He's going to shore that up. Don't worry about that. He did save his best for last, though. Those last two drives when we needed to stop, he came up big as a coach. And his players came up big for him and for us. And that's why we won. Fins up. Go Dolphins.
Appreciate you, James. Dr. Draft says debate effing over. If you doubted Uno, you lost. Michael Fletcher, let's hear your thoughts. And then I'm going to move on. I want to hear Robert because Robert's joined in. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah, no, man. The way that everything went down today was absolutely remarkable. Like Ball Game was saying, let's give Vic Fangio's defense an opportunity to get everything going. But I actually did like that about the blitzing, especially that final drive when they got to Herbert, especially at the end. If we get that kind of offense or that kind of defense complementing the offense that Miami put, I mean, think about this. Tua Tagovailoa is probably now setting up for not just 5,000 yards, maybe 6,000 yards passing. Because look at the numbers he put up. And then Tyreek Hill, he already made it a personal mission that he wants to go over 2,000 yards.
Let him hit 4 1.
No, but honestly,
yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Why not? Hey, go balls deep. I like it.
Once we get there. No, but at the end of the day, look, he put 400 yards already first game out. So I mean, obviously they're going to get some tougher defenses, some really good matchups.
Yeah.
As much as we love the offense, I don't want to have them to win games every week that way. I want them to be a lot more balanced.
So Topher said that offensive line was phenomenal.
Oh no, and granted, I'll give you that. Oh yeah, I'll give you that. No doubt about it. And I totally agree with you guys. But I'm just talking about maybe the expectations after this game. But I'm with you guys. I think right now you're looking at what the Dolphins did today is exactly the blueprint that hopefully we see throughout the season. The high scoring offense. If the defense is a bend not break type defense, then I think we have ourselves not just the best team in the AFC East, but maybe the best team in the AFC. And think about this. Cincinnati lost today. You had
but it's only week one, right?
That were right up at the top. They basically Miami won, and all these AFC teams have lost. So we already have at least a little bit of a advantage going into it.
Let's not start overreacting to week
during
one.
Your telecast
for this week.
All right, so Galka says passing interference at the end of the half and field goal was the difference in the game. Thought. I mean,
it was a big part of it.
The fumble was a huge part of it too. I mean, you guys got a touchdown on nothing but pass interferences off Xavier Howard, right? So I don't know what to say. Lewis, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's good, Reason? Appreciate you letting me up. I'm going to be quick, man. I just wanted to come and take a little victory lap. Because all week, all I heard was we were going to have to put Tua Tagovailoa in bubble wrap, not let him throw the ball more than 25 times because Terran Armstead wasn't playing. Shout out to Kendall Lamb for keeping our beloved quarterback upright. I think the whole offensive line in general. But these are the moments right here, fellas, that we've been waiting for, right? Our 5th overall pick when, let's say the shit is hitting the fan, right? The defense ain't coming to play today. It's a quarterback league, whether we like it or not, or whether we're in our feelings or not. Quarterbacks win games. And I think now we can stop ending all these narratives, right? Bro, Tua is our guy.
Lewis, that's true unless it's Herbert.
Well, again, listen, I'm not going to sit. I don't have to. When I praise Tua, Robert, I don't have to shit on Justin Herbert because I thought Herbert played well enough to win as well, right? The fact of the matter is, I'm talking about when the running game, again, we kind of got away from it, but I love this mentality that this team has. We live and die with our quarterback, and that's what good teams that have franchise guys do, right? Like when the quarterback is always going to get the blame and the praise. And I'm just saying, bro, today Tua is proving once again, that he is the guy, right? These are the moments you live for. So that's all I really wanted to say, Reason. I appreciate you letting me up.
Hold on a sec, Ron. I'm going to rotate some people out right now. So, because I got tons of people always trying to come up here right now. So just give me a sec here. Let me rotate some people out. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
Lewis, that last touchdown, Tyreek was definitely a number 5 pick in the draft pass.
Bro, he played.
Go ahead, Lewis, and then someone was about to talk. Whoever that was, go ahead. But go ahead, Lewis.
No, he played like a top 5 pick should play, right? Like he single-handedly won us this game. It was 2 quarterbacks going head-to-head where both defenses weren't showing up, and today we had the better guy. So at the end of the day, listen, again, 3
and
matchups.
Tyreek's
Tyreek is a monster, bro. Tyreek is just a monster. I mean, but again, listen.
Bro, Lewis, I ain't lying, bro. Lewis, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Dan Marino might be the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Tyreek Hill might be the greatest football player I've ever seen, bro.
I believe it,
Jeez, man.
Well, again, see, hey, Tyreek is an absolute monster. But I'll leave you guys with this. Who was throwing him the ball? Because Tyreek ain't throwing it and catching himself.
For sure.
It's Tua. It's Tua that was dicing it up today. So,
absolutely,
bro, you need both of them. But again, this is Tua's
That's why
day.
they're them, baby.
Yes,
each one of them by themselves are him.
Lewis,
together, they're them.
It's amazing when you know it's coming.
So one thing.
And boys, I didn't think you'd hit that 2K. And after today, I'm like,
no.
Anyways,
I mean, he only
Robert.
over 17 seasons. He only needs 117 per game. It's not that much. And today, 215. Come on.
Go ahead, Robert.
So like the other thing to note is we saw Tua make smart plays, like deading the ball on receivers' feet, not taking the sacks, not taking the hits, running and sliding. He made one dumb decision today that I saw. He missed a couple other reads, but overall, it was one dumb decision is all we saw today.
Yeah. Dr. Draft,
And
what's
that was
going on,
really
bro?
encouraging.
Welcome up here. How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
Hey, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, bro?
Good. Hey, oh man, how am I doing? Probably about as good as everybody else, right? My God, boys.
Let's go with the energy, bro.
As Dolphins fans.
Hey, one time we got to hit him with a Ric Flair, I think, just to get it out of there, baby.
Hey, let's go.
Let's go. Fins up.
So silent today, that's for sure.
I'm telling you, man, this is a rare feeling for us Dolphins fans. I know a lot of us have been riding for a long time, and I just had to come here and share a little bit of that energy with you guys. A lot of times I like to break things down, but this is one of those ones where I think,
you got me breaking the pitties out, bro. That's what you got me styling and profiling on screen now.
Oh, I see it, bro. I see it.
Enjoy it today.
Hey, man. Today's a day to enjoy. I think we are in for. I mean, we gotta all find some wood, but this should be a wild ride, exactly, man. And I'm just so happy. I hope you guys are happy, man. Take it in, enjoy it, Finn Nation, baby. I just wanted to say you guys are at the best channel to do it because this guy has told you the truth from day one. I've seen all the other channels, everybody else, shitting on Tua. Excuse my language. Everybody else putting him down when he's coming off an injury. This guy has done this at every level he's ever played football. It's surprising because it's even better than he's ever been right now. But this is not surprising in terms of like what we're actually seeing, become fruitful here. So I'm just excited, bro. I'm so excited. I can't even talk.
I'm glad they chose him over Flores, bro.
Oh, so am I. Oh my God.
I mean, you know how I felt about Flores from day one, but like
that's because Flores was trash.
You're more than likely probably right. He was sabotaging him.
How did
I
Flores
hated that
actually
hire.
do today? Did the Vikings win?
What? Say that again?
No, they lost to Tampa Bay.
Who?
Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Vikings.
Justin Jefferson wasn't
20 to 17, they lost.
How about Berrios' acting job, stealing the time out away from them?
Oh, that's what I need to show you guys.
He knew he caught that ball, but he got up and said, acting like see if they'll throw the challenge for him and cost him a timeout.
Shout out to bro, how about remember who were the guys I wanted in that draft? I wanted Burrow, but I knew we couldn't get him, or I wanted Tua. And if not Tua, I said trade back and get Jordan Love. Y'all see Jordan Love today?
Yeah, man.
The Love Doctor? Is that what
my brother hit me up. He's like, yo, the Love Doctor's in. I'm like, oh my God. This guy's classic. Well, because my brother, I walked him off the ledge. I walked him off the ledge when they drafted Rodgers, and I walked him off the ledge when they drafted Jordan Love. Because I always said the problem with Flores and why Jordan Love wouldn't have worked is you needed 2 years. I said that from the get-go. He needed 2 years from what we saw at Utah to where he was in Flores in that offense. They just wouldn't have given him the time. It's like Herbert. I got into it with a guy who used to be on the Brawl Network for me. He does Chargers Unleashed podcast. He's like, I hate how people make it about Tua and Herbert. And my post was about, I'm ready for Herbert first Tua round 3, but it was more about how Fangio and McDaniel are preparing Tua and how he was going to have the game. I called the type of game you saw today. I called Tua having that. I did a whole Twitter post about it. I showed y'all all about it. And, dude, and this guy was like, I hate how Dolphin fans make it about Herbert and Tua. And if you go to his page, they just retweeted an article that said, Justin Herbert takes on Tua Tagovailoa in the Chargers. And I'm like, okay, like you guys aren't making it about that. But I digress. Bro, you look at where Tua's at. You look at what he's doing and where this team's at. Man, this would have never happened under Flores, and I'll even go this far. Herbert, everyone who loves Herbert would, because it's always about, Tua versus Herbert is who was the right pick. Do you think Herbert would be the guy you see right now under Flores and Gailey and Godsey and Stoodsville? Are you nuts?
Even though Flores would have liked to have had Herbert, I don't think so at all. But that's one of the reasons why I stated back then that I didn't like Flores was because of his lack of support of Tua. And they even said it at the before the game started on the commentary. You can't understate how important it is for a quarterback to have support from his head coach and the rest of the coaching staff and the organization like he does now. And by no means did he have that kind of support under the Flores regime. Not even close. In fact, my views on that. So.
Yeah. Bro, the thing to me, though, that was it's so obvious, but it was just so impressive. This game was not just put onto his back. I mean, it was like zipped up in his backpack, like ship him overseas and like put him on, for Battle of Normandy. This guy was put in impossible situations. One blink by that offense and we lose that game. They didn't blink the whole day. The whole day.
Yeah. He was a point guard.
I gotta keep going back to Connor Williams' mistakes, but yes, I'm sorry, it just kind of sticks out in my head like a sore thumb.
Well, absolutely, that could have easily lost. Yeah, I say the offense, like I'm saying, Tua was put in a position
I feel you.
without a running game. Every player dropping back, the defense is shading all of his tendencies, and time again, he's getting answers. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. The man has developed.
That Tyreek Hill touchdown. Listen.
He is an offensive guru today.
Like,
but
we made a couple mistakes, but it wasn't
Go ahead.
many. And
Go ahead,
Tua
British
was
Fin fan after Robert. Robert, you go, and then British Fin fan go. Robert,
I'm
finish
sorry, I
your
wasn't
thought.
trying to overtalk people.
No, it's okay. Finish your thought, and then
yeah,
British
we made a couple mistakes. I'm surprised they didn't kill us when we fumbled the goal, when we fumbled the ball off the snap at the goal line, when we fumbled at the start, when we threw the pick. Like, normally those would kill you. The fact that Tua overcame those just adds more credibility to this.
Yeah, and how many times were we
that's
in
my
the
thought.
15? Yeah, you're right. Because how many times were we even in a 2nd and 3rd and 15, and we overcame that? Where old Dolphins, even in the early Flores era with Tua, we couldn't overcome that.
Well,
Remember, we were an offense that we couldn't afford to take 5-yard penalties.
And I think each one of the Tyreek Hill bombs was like literally a third down conversion.
It was 3rd and 10, the one before the end of the game.
The Barrios catch was 3rd and 15 as well.
Yep.
So.
Craycraft was 3rd and 25. 3rd and 15.
Yeah, balls of steel to do that on third.
How many yards?
Third downs.
How many yards did Barrios end up with?
What was it, 40?
But it was all like
42.
clutch ass yardage.
First down though.
Yeah,
it was all clutch ass shit.
Where 2 of them were first downs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, he's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling
And
you, like, it's just gonna get better. Izakama, he's got me intrigued, my friend.
Bro, he was doing so much work on the screen game.
I love everything. Yeah,
by the way, I gotta show this.
Motion preset.
Speaking of Braxton Berrios, I gotta show this. Honey Nut Berrios. I had this made during the game right here. You know, we're gonna be rocking that. That's gonna probably.
I love cereal memes.
Shout out to Honey Nut Berrios.
It's not just what Ezekama did, but it's also what that's going to make defenses coming into play us have to prepare for. I mean, it's just I really like that wrinkle.
And
Anthony, are you there, bro?
Yo, what's up, dude? How are you?
What's going on? How are you feeling, bro?
Bro, I just I'll say this. I think like a lot of people, I was caught off guard by how many points our defense gave up. I'm gonna defer to Vic Fangio and just let's give this group some time. Wilkins was dealing with the whole hold in. And so, I understand that he was practicing, but he wasn't getting a lot of live reps. Let's give it some time. Definitely not ideal, but, let's just defer to Vic Fangio and the expertise he has. But, it's kind of like if you've had a rookie quarterback and you say, if we lose, but our rookie quarterback looks amazing, you kind of take it with a grain of salt. And I think that I understand it was an ugly victory, but the fact that the Dolphins have a quarterback that can go out there and win against a tough defense. I think the Chargers, honestly, across the AFC matchup, honestly, probably the best with the Dolphins' talent on offense. And the fact that you, as Dolphin fans, we have a quarterback that can go out there and win you those games, that's invaluable, because as much as we all love the addition of Vic Fangio, you can't expect the Dolphins every game, especially against quarterbacks who have a lot of talent like Herbert. I don't know how many coordinators they're going to have to go through to realize that he just isn't clutch. Maybe 4, because right now they're at 3. But I will say this, like the fact that the Dolphins have a quarterback like Tua that can win you those games without a running game, without his best offensive lineman, with all the issues, with the defense giving up pretty much everything. The fact that you have a quarterback that can do that is just like there's no price on it. So this was just an incredible game. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback improve that much from one game to another against the same opponent as I just saw Tua improve from last year against the Chargers to this game.
I agree. You got to give McDaniel credit too for devising their game plan after getting shut out the way they did the last time.
Look, man.
What I like. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, it's your turn.
No, I was just going to say what I liked is that we were getting gashed all night on the run, and we left at least 7 points on the table. But when push came to shove, we were still able to, tighten up and get and get the victory. And I think the offensive line played really, really well.
Agreed.
And they kept Tua clean, really clean. And Durham Smythe made a couple of big plays as well.
He had a quietly good game. It started off rough there a little bit.
Oh, he just scored a touchdown for Dallas.
Yeah.
So keep going, British Fin fan. Keep going, bro.
We let Gesicki go, and we've not really got a
number one.
You're far away from your mic, bud.
Oh, sorry, man. I'm just saying, considering we've not really got a top top tight end right now, I thought Durham Smythe played really well, and made a couple of key plays, and Tua was amazing, and to come back at the end there, and
Noah Benogany just returned a blocked field goal for a touchdown. 65
Good
yards.
for him.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah.
Noah's a good dude, man.
Good kid. Should never have been taken where he was. Good for him.
Reason. I have a question for you. What did you think about McDaniel at one point having, well, I guess throughout the game, had Ezukama, Tyreek Hill, and Raheem Mostert, all of them at one point or another were in the backfield, using them in different ways. I loved it.
Yeah, we saw him use Tyreek last year a few times, but look at that is a common usage, man. I think it's just going to get heavier and heavier as the season goes. And honestly, I'm really intrigued. Like, you can see the vision, but I go back to this, why wasn't A-Chain back there? You didn't even use Chris Brooks. And when Salvin Ahmed was out there, quite frankly, he was a disaster. So, I mean, it looked like Mostert was the lone guy you could really depend on. Because, I mean, Ahmed started getting shut down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. He almost had that fumble. Thank God he didn't have control of the football, right?
They weren't using really creative running attack either.
Ingold had a clutch run.
They weren't using the creative running attack.
Ingold Ingold had that big run after the catch up the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. I'd be giving the ball out to the backfield on fullback dives to Ingold before I'm giving them to Salvin Ahmed.
Yeah. They weren't using any of those wide press runs. Everything looked like they were off tackle runs again.
Yeah, right? Get to the edge. Who can get to the edge the quickest? That's it.
Yeah, they weren't using that creative. When he gets creative with the running game is when Mostert was breaking tackles after he get past the line of scrimmage. And
there are a few times, Ron, where he was actually dancing a little up the middle at the second level. You could see, you can tell when a guy's seeing it or feeling it that day. And Mostert's feet were telling the story for me that just keep feeding him, but they went away from it at the end a little bit. I mean, I get it. Tua was working at a much higher and efficient pace, but my issue is, and one of the reasons why I think we got into such a big shootout, look at the times of possessions. Look at everything we did, right? We fumbled. We got down to the 3-yard line in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Followed up with a touchdown drive of 3 minutes 24, a field goal in 3 minutes, a punt in a minute, a touchdown in 4:52, then a field goal in 9 seconds. Thank Lord for the DPI. But then, a touchdown in 6 seconds, that one play after the interception. And that interception drive might have actually been our longest when it was all said and done. But then a field goal in 3:57, a touchdown in 2:08. You know what I mean? Well, they had one of their drives was over 7 minutes long in that first quarter.
There was one drive we went from our 20 to their 20, two to Tyreek.
Yeah, and it's
I
good to
feel
be
like I love it. Listen, I love being explosive and efficient. Don't get me wrong.
You gotta be able to do the other stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta be able to beat a team up and run it down their throat some games.
Well, look at the Lions and Chiefs game, for example. I mean, they kept Mahomes off the field quite a bit in that game.
Well, why do you think the Chargers started going no hurry on us? Because they saw how quick our offense was getting off the field, whether we score or not. And they're just like, let's go, hurry. We're going to gas these guys.
Yeah.
And we got that second win at the end when it mattered, because big players make big plays in big moments. And our front seven showed up. Well, our front showed up. Because I'll be one thing. David Long, what a disappointment today. He looked absolutely lost at times.
Unbelievable, bro. The second level of the defense.
I never thought I'd say Jerome Baker looked better than David Long, but here we are week 1.
I can't wait to see how much better the offensive line gets when Armstead.
But let me ask you all this. While we were praising David Long in the preseason, from what we were hearing and what we were seeing in highlights and all that kind of stuff, that whether it's footage on this channel or whatever the case, or whether you went there live, how right was Fangio about where Long was at in the end of the day?
Yeah. Well, super right, man.
He's the dude. Listen to
him. The one dude he's been so sold about and been telling all y'all he's in love with is Javon Holland. Javon Holland has 14 tackles today and is everywhere. Run support, pass support, everywhere. Bro, I told y'all He's a better athlete, and he's going to be better than Justin Simmons was in the defense. And Justin Simmons was an all-pro.
Brandon Jones played all today. I didn't see him much.
No, he's still not out there, right?
I didn't
still
see,
on
I was
injury.
I was noticing Deshaun Elliott a whole hell of a lot.
That's what
I think Jones would have been much better in run defense.
So,
well, yeah, but
I don't know. Deshaun Elliott was all over the field too. He had like 13 tackles.
Yeah, but they were downfield reason.
I'm good to have some depth, man. I'm saying.
Yeah, David Long was noticeably not there a lot. Brandon Jones, or not Brandon Jones. David Long was noticeably not on the field in like all sub packages.
And other than Bosa taking a penalty and one Khalil Mack play, did they even show up after all these people trying to worry us?
No, honestly, no, man. It's amazing.
You guys,
you gotta get credit for that.
See
too.
the
got the ball
This
out.
man, Rome Gay wants Cam Kitchens from the U to pair with Javon. Brother, I would love it. But Cam, we ain't going to be picking high enough to get Cam, I don't think, brother.
Can we give some credit real quick to the coaching staff for the offensive line?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, we talked about Butch Berry
earlier,
right? Butch
Yeah, we
Berry
did.
was he
did I miss
wasn't. Yeah, he clearly wasn't the problem in Denver. The guys who they increased their pass block win rate. They went to top 10.
That's right.
Dalton Reisner and those old guys, they were stuck in their ways and didn't want to get out of it.
I mean, that's a huge part of it too. Let's keep that shit.
But hold on. Let's also give props to Mike McDaniel of working with him in San Fran. And when not many people would have given him that chance after what happened in Denver, the revolt, Mike McDaniel said, nah, he's not the problem. And look at what we got in week 1. And let's give him also the props.
He knew what's up.
I've been telling all y'all that I've been hearing privately that they love if you're a Patreon or a channel member or watch this channel frequently, how long I've been saying that they believe in Kendall Lamb so much that if Armstead's down, he's in. And if Austin Jackson screws up, which let's talk about him a little bit because he was good today.
Yeah,
if he screws up, I would heard Kendall Lamb would be slotted in there right away. And Austin, listen, it goes back to what I told y'all when I got McDaniel. I said Austin Jackson has the traits to be something in this offense. Liam Eichenberg does not. Where's Liam Eichenberg? Now he's on his last spot center to see if he can fit in this offense. But I got to get into this guy because he usually got good stuff. Derek, I haven't heard from you since you joined, bro. Derek, where are you at? D-Hugga. Oh, sorry. No, my bad. D-Hugga's not up here. He left. Daryl Wallace is up here. Daryl, you usually got the good line, so drop him with something.
I don't know about that, but it is good to be able to celebrate with everybody the way that we're celebrating, man. You know, I feel like, honestly, as a fan, that I just took a trip in a rocket ship and flew all over the moon with this one, you know. It's real good to be able to hear some familiar voices and see some familiar. And even though you normally save this for the last part of the stream, man, if I can
go with your final thoughts, because I'm gonna wrap it up, because I would go longer if we were at 1 o'clock, but it's the night game and we were at 1,100 people. We're down to about 700 because the night game's hit.
Yeah, I got you, man. But yeah, I'll just save it for final thoughts. But yeah.
No, go ahead. Go your final thoughts. I'm gonna go through quick.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Basically, man, if I can say this when it comes to giving somebody a game ball, I would give it to Tua Tagovailoa's trainer, Nick Hicks, man. The next time,
attaboy.
Please tell him that from the bottom of my heart, I said thank you. Like many other people up here, I've always had faith in Tua Tagovailoa. I've always been a fan of his story and his upbringing, and what we see right now, what his teammates have always raved about. That's something that, you know, any fool could see that he's always had the capability to be something special. And this year he's going to remind everybody that we weren't foolish when we were telling everybody that he really is him. So this offense, I definitely have nothing but good things to say. The defense, you hope that they can work on some of the things that, you know, drove us all nuts at times. But it's just week 1. So I'm just continuing to have faith. And yeah, I can't wait for the next game.
Appreciate you, Daryl. I'm just going to move you out so I can get Derek back up here because I'm going to go through final thoughts.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you for coming through, sir. All right, so continuing on here. Before I do, though, I did hit up Nick Hicks today, actually about 20 minutes before the game. I was talking to him about Zay Flowers because I got Zay Flowers in 2 of my 3 fantasy league teams, and that's one of the guys he coaches up. He's the wide receiver coach of Zay Flowers. And so I was just hitting him up, and I said to Nick today, I said to him, let's get that W today. I know you had something to do with Tua's fresh fit. Don't lie to me. Because if y'all saw Tua walking in that building, he was fresher than a piece of paper bearing his name today. It was unbelievable. He looked unbelievable. I don't know if you saw it, man. He looked fresh today walking in. And here's the video of it. I got it right here if you want to see what he looked like today. But yeah, he was walking in. Look at that. You'll see Tua walking in like that today. Tell me that ain't my quarterback. So I hit him up and I said, hey, I know you had something to do with Tua's fresh fit. Don't lie to me. And he says, my guy decked out looking like money. I said, look like a guy who's about to win the season opener in the whole AFC when it's all said and done, to be honest. And we're well on our way, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Let's go on final thoughts. King Z joined up here. What's going on, brother? We're going to go through final thoughts. We're going to start with you, Russell. Final thoughts, brother.
Man, what a game. Nail biter. It was absolutely fantastic watch. I just want to see things getting tightened up on the defense a little bit. Offense needs to keep pushing. I would like to see them incorporate Chris Brooks more, especially between the tackles in the red zone. I was kind of hoping to see that today, but that's just, tic-tac little things that I would like to see from a personal perspective. Outside of that, man, Tua is amazing. He is showing why he is the franchise quarterback for this Miami Dolphins team. And it's great to see. It's awesome that he outperformed Herbert, because I'm so tired of everybody talking about how great Herbert, to me, is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's a stat guy. That's really who he reminds me of, is a stat quarterback. And Tua comes in clutch. He's clutch like Dan Marino was clutch. He'll go and win you a game when it matters the most. And it was amazing to watch tonight. And it was a pleasure being up here. It's been a while since you've had an open panel. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. And fins up.
We'll go longer when we're back to the 1 o'clock games. Don't worry, gentlemen.
Fins up, Russell.
British Fin fan, you're up, brother.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank you, Reason, for bringing the channel back and in a sense of letting us all come up and have our chat. I always appreciate that. Nice to see Dylan back on the channel too. I've always respect your opinions, mate. I think it was, we did well tonight. We couldn't stop the run, but we still found a way to win. Vic Fangio dialed it up in the end when he needed to get us the victory. The offensive line played really well. That can't be understated. Austin Jackson played well. Isaiah Wynn played well. Yes, Connor Williams had a few mishaps, but in the end, we got the job done. Tua was amazing, and Tua and Tyreek was a fantastic combination. The offensive line kept Tua cleaner than a nun's panties. That was amazing. I can't believe how great that was. And I think it's so important that we went 1-0 in a stacked AFC, not just an AFC
on the
East,
road,
but the AFC in general. It was a big win because it's going to be a tough division. It's going to be a tough conference. So to come away, as you say, Reason, on the road, get the road win, 1-0, I think is a massive result. And now we can get back on, focus on the next game and get back in training. I think it's a tremendous victory. Fins up.
Appreciate you for coming through, brother. Rome Gray says 168 hours from now, we will be on NBC beating some Patriots ass. Attaboy. All right, Dylan, your final thoughts.
Thanks for having me. It's good to chat with you guys again. It's been a minute. Obviously, so, the game was beautiful. It was an amazing display. Obviously, there's some things to clean up, but way to start the season, especially with some of the other powerhouses in the AFC taking some losses. Love to see it. I want to say, you guys know some of my past views on this organization and stuff as a whole, but when it comes to Tua, I've never had an issue with him. It was always the context that he was going into, and I'm just happy to see that he's still around and those that contextual elements that were here that were a problem are no longer here. So I'm happy to see that. And this is actually the most optimistic I am for a season in pretty much my entire life as a Dolphins fan for over 20 years, because I think the organization, yes, it is wonderful to have a quarterback like Tua, but to me, the bigger thing, and you know how much I've harped on like Stephen Ross and stuff, I think he's finally got some big answers in some big places that he's had a hard time filling, i.e. like not quarterback, although that is important, but, you know, head coach and a lot of the support staff that goes into that and everything, because that is huge. And that also helps to make championship caliber teams and dynasty. So ends up to that shit.
Shout out to Pro Special. It's 3 a.m. at his place over there in Germany, and he's already feeling the brewskis. I love it.
Yeah. By the way, one more thing. We're winning the AFC championship as well as the division, and we're definitely going to the Super Bowl. I'm going that far.
Mike, what's going on, bro? Final thoughts.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, piggybacking off of British Finn fan, I think he said it best. Good teams find ways to win. And that's what we did tonight. Reason feels great. Coming back to these post-game shows feels like home. So excited that football's back. Biggest key takeaways today: 100% offensive line, killer job. I can't believe AJ is 24. My God. Austin Jackson, Kendall Lamb. Like, I think Tua barely had any pressures today, to be honest. And Tua. I mean, Tua's him. He is a better quarterback. I think winning this first game was crucial for setting that precedence and setting the tone for the rest of the season. Now it's up to the defense to clean a lot of things up, but I have no doubt in Vic Fangio and the rest of the squad. So anyways, great first dub. Fins up all day.
Robert, final thoughts?
So it was a hell of a game. I thank the Dolphins for giving my new pacemaker a test to make sure that it still functions and works. Thank you.
There you go.
Tua was damn good. The offense played really well. Was a little underwhelmed by the defense, but they turned it on when they need to, and it's something I just need to watch and see. And Smythe looked a hell of a lot better than I have seen Gesicki look in years. So that was very refreshing. That's kind of my final thoughts.
Dr. Draft, your final thoughts.
Sorry about that. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So real quick, couple game balls. I'll kind of reiterate what a few of you guys said, but one of them I don't think is getting shouted out enough, even though we've said it a lot. Still not enough is Mike McDaniel. What he's done for this franchise. He's come in here and completely changed the total trajectory of the franchise, essentially from day one. The last second first half field goal, that's a Mike McDaniel decision to push the green light with 9 seconds there. And it ends up being, in the end of the day, part of the difference in this game. Offensive line, amazing, almost 50 dropbacks, kept Tua clean against a really scary pass rush. Stephen Ross, I love people shouting him out. I don't think he gets enough credit, man. I mean, getting rid of Flores underneath the circumstances and sticking with Tua and seeing this one out. I mean, take 10 seconds.
He ever made.
Dude, take 10 seconds. Everybody take 10 seconds when we get off of this show. Take 10 seconds and think, just if he would have made that different decision, where would we be? We all know where we'd be because we've been there for 25 years.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, that dude, it's time to start talking about he might be the best playmaker in NFL history, and we're watching him in his prime in aqua and orange. So last thing, guys, I just want to shout out that what we watched from Tua today is not just good or impressive or even encouraging. It's a coronation, okay? It's coronation time. It's confirmation time. This man needs to take over the city. Everybody, even if you have egg on your face, you can quietly, I don't want to see it, but you can quietly get on the bandwagon and just sit there. I don't want to hear from you, but get on the bandwagon and enjoy it. And soak this in, guys. We got a lot of questions for the defense coming up, but these days don't come too often for us Dolphins fans. So soak it up, guys. Fins up, baby. Thanks, Reason.
Appreciate you, homie. Ron, and we'll talk soon, Doctor. Ron,
all right, bro.
Your final thoughts, bro.
Yeah. First of all, Reason, thanks again for opening up the panel. I love coming up here. You know me, I'm a OG when it comes to these Dolphins. I've been a fan since 1970. And I'll just say one thing. I had flashbacks of Chuck Studley and Tom Olivedati watching that defense just get run over, and it was made me very, very nervous to see us get run over, because those are the games we would always lose 41-38. Marino would put up all those numbers, and the defense would give it up and run the clock out. We wouldn't have a chance to get the ball back. But this is a different team. When they unleashed the front seven and allowed them to go after the Herbert on that last drive to solidify the win, I mean, that kind of just opened my eyes and said, "Wait, this team is different. This team, I thought they were going to lose by one when they missed that extra point, and teams in the past they probably would have, but not this one. I got to give a lot of credit to McDaniel for putting the faith in his players and putting faith in each other's, for correcting their mistakes when they make them. That's one thing I'll say about Tua. I hope we don't need him to play like this every week, but the fact that he can is just gives us so much more confidence. And the fact that he is elite when it comes to finding the open guy. I mean, there's guys that miss. Well, there's teams that can have a Tyreek Hill open running down the field and the quarterback just miss him or not see him. Tua sees him every single time, and he hits him every single time. He doesn't get enough credit for that, for seeing the whole field.
Bro, did you see how badly he moved the safety on that touchdown throw?
Yeah.
He had the his whole. It wasn't just his head; his whole body was aimed in that. It was pointed in that direction, like he's going to fire off to that side.
He looked him wide open. Yep, that's what he did. He looked to the left, the safety moved, and he was wide open. And that last throw, I mean, listen, we're looking at elite quarterback status. There's no arguing that anymore.
Right back in the MVP conversation, baby. Let's go.
I have a lot of faith in this.
Bro, I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is. This is the mastermind, the protege of the mastermind. This protege has given him so many problems since his debut against the Rams when Staley was running that defense. Then he gave him problems again last year, and look at he cooked them today. Cooked them. And there was even times where they would take away the middle of this field, and he was still threading it and saying, "All right, dare me, I'll do it. I don't care." Bro, I'm telling you, this guy from the line of scrimmage to 40 yards out, the accuracy is unheralded. Like, it's unbelievable. It's next level, man. It's
great darts.
It's incredible. It really is. And I think the closest thing I could say is that we've seen between McDaniel and Tua is Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. Walsh wanted Montana not for his athletic attributes. Okay, there's a difference between an athlete and a quarterback. And Tua, to me, is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Ron, can we argue that? Can we say this before, even with the injuries? Chad Pennington's one of, not just with the Miami Dolphins, he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks we've ever seen of all time. He didn't have this keyhole accuracy that Tua has. It's not like this is like next level. Like, it is a superpower. When people say it's a superpower, they're not overselling it. It's next level, man.
Agreed. And we were showing highlights at halftime, and they were showing some of the throws that Tua was making before the receiver.
Dude, the fade throw to Tyreek with the coverage in the end zone, bro.
That's the one.
Tyreek's not 6'4", bro.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was going to point out, bro. That shit was
in stride, by the way. In stride.
His anticipatory skills are just second to none. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who it is. It's Berrios, it's Waddle, it's Hill, it's Craycraft. Put anybody out there, and Tua's going to find him. So, I think that we finally got our special quarterback. I want to see us hopefully get a little bit more balanced. We rely a lot on him.
They're going to trade for it. They're going to trade for it. Don't worry. It's coming, bro. All this is going to lead to, this winning is just going to lead to them trading for that big ticket, bro. I'm telling you right now. And the other thing I like, too, that no one's talked about.
I actually hope so.
He was extending plays today and making throws on the run, and he was making he was making a difference. You know what I mean?
That long bomb to Tyreek late in the game was stepping up through the pocket with a defender pulling at the back of his jersey, on like 1 foot, launching that shit.
The third down throw to Berrios on a comeback.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. All right. King Z, your final thoughts, bro, and welcome to the show.
Hey, it's good to be back. Thank you, Reason, for having us on here. I didn't watch the game, but I'm rewatching it right now. But I saw the highlights, bro. Amazing.
Don't even watch it in 40. You got to watch the full thing, bro.
I'm watching the full thing right now as we speak. Actually, Tua. I don't care what anybody says, bro. They got to keep his name out their mouth now. And I'm just ready for. I'm waiting for the trade for JT because I'm pretty sure once the run game comes, bro, like this team's gonna be
over. It's over.
Unstoppable. I'm gonna give Vic Fangio a pass this time because his first week, some players weren't in the lineup. So, all in all, amazing game from what I've seen on highlights. Can't wait to watch the full thing. Fins up.
Derek, bro, you came. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Give me your final thoughts, bro. You've been here since the day one. You've seen the growth of Tua. You've seen the support on this channel when we were called Tua-neers just because we believed what we saw on film. And I showed y'all what we saw on film. And look at this kid continues to blossom, bro. Right back. This feels like he's going to be right back in the MVP combo, bro.
He had the fourth most passing yards in season opener in NFL history, just real quick.
Love it.
Behind Norm Van Brocklin, Tom Brady, and Dan Marino.
Yeah, man. He had a beautiful game, man. I couldn't have been more. It was awesome to see. But, you know, I have to really – I'm so mad at Connor Williams, man, because you had some nerve to hold out, and you can't even snap the ball right consistently. So other than that, and then, you know, it was a beautiful game. I can't be upset. But I'm ready to see them probably give him that contract, man. He's
working towards it, bro.
Yeah, he's working towards it. I can't be mad at it.
He getting him and Hunt getting the bag before Connor. Before Connor and Wilkins at this pace. Let's be honest.
Man, do you think they even looked at? Because I'm like, man, we need to bring a real center in here, man. Because I'm tired of this.
I had a conversation with someone yesterday. Think of the Creed Humphreys. Think of the Linderbaums. Think of the guys that they've could have had chances on, and so just go back into the second and third round and go find your guy. I mean, look at Tyler Biotish a couple of years ago. I mean, even Luke Fortner starting in Jacksonville right now. So
Cam Jurgens is starting in Philly too.
There'll be options, bro. I ain't worried. Anthony,
Juice Scruggs.
Yeah, Juice Scruggs. There you go. Anthony, bro, your final thoughts before we get out of here, because I got Martin ready to come back soon.
Man, I appreciate you having me up here. I appreciate you doing this and all the hard work you do for the community. Can't really overstate that reason. Like, you're the OG. But as far as the game, final thoughts. Man, in the NFL, a win is a win. And the fact that you opened up the year going into another team's stadium, a team that plays in your conference, a team that's talented and matches up well against you schematically and talent-wise, a team that you struggled with last year, and you won that type of game, man, it's so impressive. And I understand the defense wasn't great, but we have a talented roster. We have good coaches. Let's let these guys figure it out, especially with a new scheme. You know, let's not judge people by their mistakes, but rather their willingness to improve and learn from them. And then as far as, you know, Tua and this offense, at the core of it's the fact that we have a quarterback that can win any style of game. And if you need to go out there and for him to throw, 467 yards and 3 touchdowns, he'll do it. And I think this was his most impressive game, even over the Baltimore game, because when you factor in that he had a third as many yards, a third as many touchdowns the last time he played this team. And honestly, a reason, I don't know about you, but for me, the only question I had about Tua's game on the field was his ability to play this style of defense. And it goes to show you the impact Fangio has had, the impact McDaniel has had to actually know how to create a good game plan and to adjust to teams that have figured him out. And man, it's just an incredible time. I hope a lot of Dolphin fans don't take this for granted because, I became a Dolphins fan. My first year was when we went 1-15. And so I'm not taking this for granted. Tua is him. But now, we enjoy this, then we move on next week to a big game in New England.
Martin, the people want to hear it. Final thoughts?
Wow. Man, oh, man. Oh, man. Right, this was – what's up, everybody, man? What's up, man? I've pretty much been listening the whole time. I'm good, fellas. I appreciate it. I pretty much been listening the whole time. Was trying to get on, but you guys avalanched into the chat. So I was like, you know what, man? Let me just sit back and enjoy this, man. But yeah, this was somebody mentioned it earlier, like a coronation, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like officially, I think we need to close the chapter on the Tua doubt. You know, I think if anything, Tua left no doubt after this game that he's the Miami Dolphins quarterback. And anything else after that, you know, you're just you might have a vendetta out on him. But this was a hell of a game. Offensive line surprised me with the protection, because you all know every time Teron Armstead is in, these guys play at a different level, and he was out, and they played at a different level. So it's almost like they're maturing right before our eyes as a unit. So just overall excellent game. Defense, oh my goodness. Vic Fangio is not supposed to be the highest paid coach or defensive coordinator in the NFL to have that type of a showing game one. I know it's Chargers. I know you're dealing with Herbert and Eckler and whomever else, but golly, I mean, even the conversion on 3rd and long, it felt like the Buffalo game from last year. It was tough. It was tough to watch the defense, but at the very least, the offense has certified, stamped, sealed, and approved. They're for real. They're for real. You know, so I just enjoyed every minute of it.
And it looks like they're taking that growth and that step and that leap we all expected them to take in year 2, because this is Tua's first year with the same staff in the same offense since high school.
I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you just brought that back up, man. That's
it looks
important.
like it's big, bro. Honestly, bro, I can't wait to break down the film with you on Tuesday, bro. It's gonna
yes, sir.
Buddy, Tua Tuesday,
yes,
it's
sir.
back, baby, and it's always beautiful when it's not only a win, but when it's a shootout. Listen, I know he wishes he could have that decision back, and I've seen the screenshots. There was clear contact between Barrios and the defender, but you just can't rely that you're always going to get those flags thrown.
The call, exactly.
Yeah, you just can't
that's
rely
true.
on that when you're taking those shots, especially when we were in a position to get more points on. You know, we left. People forget. Sure, we won by 2, but we left 10 points on the board potentially today. So, guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow night. We'll recap. We're going to go over PFF grades, next gen stats, everything. I'm going to give my jabroni of the week. And it's you know what I mean? So we'll do my jabroni of the week after that first game. We'll come out and do that. It's not hard to guess who that one's going to be. You know, bringing bad luck to all of us with a beard. So we'll talk about him tomorrow. So expect me tomorrow on your drive home, when you're done work, whenever you are, around 5 p.m. Expect me and Martin will be back Tuesday night to break down the film. Then I'll be back with Richmond Webb and Ball Game on Wednesday, Neil on Thursday, and we'll do it all over again with a preview next week. It is what it is. Let's get it in. We're heading into week 2. We're 1-0. Tua goes off today. It's a beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. We had over 1,100 people in the room at one point today. Over 500 of you right now. Smash that like button on the way out. Love all y'all. Appreciate y'all. All y'all that donated. All y'all that smashed the like button. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see you on the next